Well, looks like Pllana just got the secret recipe for WWE. Well, he got the script, allegedly. And it's mostly just his predictions, but you guys already subscribed to his channel. But here's a screenshot just in case you haven't, and we're going to go ahead and get started and see what he got.
I got the WWE scripts. Alright, no, I'm just messing with you guys, but there were 5 times when I successfully predicted major WWE storylines months and sometimes even years in advance, and I thought it would be a fun time to take a look at these videos in a compilation form. The first one is about Seth Rollins dethroning Roman Reigns. While he didn't technically beat him for the belts, I did predict that Rollins needed to destroy the monster that he created, and you can even make the argument that this chair shot was the most important piece to ending Roman's title reign. This is my video from 2022 when his reign was at 1,000 days. It's been over 1,000 days since Roman Reigns has been pinned. He's held the Universal Championship for 741 days, and he's been the undisputed WWE Universal Champion for nearly 200 days. Roman Reigns has unquestionably entered into God mode. The Tribal Chief has wrecked everyone in his path, starting with The Fiend and Braun Strowman. Then there was his cousin Jey Uso, and we discovered that nobody is safe from this monster, including his very own bloodline. Kevin Owens tried to put an end early into his run, but failed miserably, and the man was literally run over. Roman Reigns was ready to kill KO in order to retain his title. Daniel Bryan had one of the better efforts, but it didn't end too well for him. Roman Reigns beat him so bad that it sent him to the minor leagues. The Rated R Superstar wished that he stayed retired because Edge was defeated twice by Roman Reigns, and one of the times was the ultimate sign of disrespect. I've never seen a man dominate 2 people to the point where he stacked them onto each other for the victory. Cesaro was finally given a world championship opportunity only to be humbled. Roman Reigns was forced to show him that there was a reason he was never in the main event scene. Rey Mysterio thought he had a chance and thought wrong. John Cena made his grand return with one goal in mind: to end the championship run and save WWE, but he couldn't even get the job done. John Cena lost and hasn't had a match since. Finn Balor was next in line, and Roman Reigns killed the demon. Sami Zayn's attempt was just laughable. The Tribal Chief put Goldberg to sleep. Matt Riddle put up a good fight, but he didn't walk out as champion. And Brock Lesnar was buried, quite literally putting a nail on the coffin of that long-time rivalry. Drew McIntyre was the closest to dethroning him, and just when you thought he was going to do it, he fell short in front of 60,000 people rooting for him. Roman Reigns has clearly been unstoppable. He's destroyed pretty much the entire roster, and this got a lot of people asking, who's going to be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns?
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
The name that seems to pop up the most to answer that question is Cody Rhodes. The American Nightmare came back to WWE with one goal in mind: to win the WWE Championship for his father. The only person standing in his way is Roman Reigns. Therefore, when he recovers from surgery, fans are hoping to see a return and a victory at the Royal Rumble. Cody winning the 30-man Battle Royal would just be the beginning of this journey. It would end with him dethroning the undisputed WWE Universal Champion in the main event of WrestleMania in front of 70,000-80,000 screaming fans. While I love that idea and I'm not against it, and I would actually be happy to see it play out, I don't think he's the best person. I don't think he's the best option to take down Roman Reigns. I think there's a stronger story out there for somebody else. So you're probably wondering, who is it? Should WWE create a new star with Montez Ford, somebody that can transcend into the main event scene with his victory? No, I don't think so. How about Logan Paul? With his popularity, he can become the WWE's next big thing. Nah, not Logan Paul. What about Braun Breaker? He's got all the potential in the world, but I don't think he's ready just yet. How about Randy Orton, who's a legend that's got a decade left in the tank? As much as I would love to see it, it's not him either. Alright, here's the last choice, The Rock. No, unfortunately, it's not Dwayne Johnson either. It's none of those men. Instead, it's a man who has unfinished business with Roman Reigns. A man that always seems to have his number. A man that I believe Roman Reigns genuinely fears. A man who knows him best because they came into the business together as brothers.
Sierra Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield.
And that That man is none other than Seth freaking Rollins. You see, these two go way back to a decade ago. The story started with Rollins and Reigns, and so it's only fitting that it ends with them as well. I really believe that he is going to be the one to dethrone the undisputed champion. It only makes sense when you take a step back and look at all of the history that's been laid out. It all began in 2012. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns were just two aspiring young athletes who wanted nothing more to make a name for themselves in the WWE. With the help of Dean Ambrose, they went beyond that and they took over the company and became one of the greatest factions in WWE history. The three rookies took WWE by storm, winning multiple championships, becoming the most powerful force. Legitimately, they were unstoppable. The only thing that got in their way was Seth Rollins' ego. The architect was hungry for more. He wanted to become number one, and that could not happen with his brothers in the way. So, Seth Rollins did the only thing he could think of, and he betrayed them, stabbing them in the back with a number of chair shots. This moment skyrocketed him into success. Seth Rollins became the number one guy at the expense of Roman Reigns. It started with the betrayal. It continued at WrestleMania 31 when Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank contract to pin and defeat Roman Reigns, winning the WWE Championship, stealing that moment from him. The fans even eventually turned on Reigns, who was the good guy, while rooting for the villain. After coming back from his injury, Seth Rollins targeted Roman Reigns, hitting him with a pedigree. To make the situation worse, he even defeated him at the next pay-per-view to take away his championship. Seth Rollins continuously defeated Roman Reigns. He took his championships away, and he even stole the fans. Seth Rollins has always had his number. Believe it or not, the first 8 years of Roman's career was absolutely hindered by Rollins. It was time for Reigns to make a drastic change, or else he would have been the biggest failed project in wrestling history.
Feed them in and watch them all get slaughtered, because this is my island.
Roman Reigns did indeed make that change, turning himself from a failure to one of the GOATs of this business. It was actually with the help of Seth Rollins, and I don't think he even knows just how much he played a part in this transformation. Roman Reigns studied every meticulous move made by Seth Rollins in 2014 and implemented it into this run. Step 1, join the dark side. Nice guys finish last, so you need to become the villain. Seth Rollins became an egotistical maniac, and Roman Reigns followed and won't stop until everyone acknowledges him. Step 2, wreck everyone and leave. If you're going to become number one, you've got to take down everyone in your path, including family. Seth Rollins did it to his brothers, while Roman Reigns abused his cousins. Step 3, find a wise man. If you're going to be successful, you're going to need a mentor, and Seth Rollins had Triple H, while Roman Reigns had his special counsel, Paul Heyman. Step 4, keep your hands clean. You don't waste your time or energy doing any dirty work. You build a team to do it for you. Seth Rollins had the authority, and Roman Reigns built the bloodline. Step 5, secure the gold. To prove you're the best, you're going to need to have all the gold around your waist. Seth Rollins had the United States Championship and the WWE title, while Roman Reigns is the undisputed champion. The Tribal Chief has done a wonderful job at emulating the architect. However, Seth Rollins is still the mastermind behind the master plan, and because of this, there's a slither of doubt and fear in the mind of Roman Reigns that he can't beat this man. To make things even more intimidating for the head of the table, Seth Rollins knows him better than anybody else on the roster, which means he knows his every weakness. The only other person who knows just as much is in a different company. Roman Reigns fears Seth Rollins can beat him, and if you need any proof about it, look no further than the match at the Royal Rumble where he disqualified himself, taking a technical loss to protect his title reign. There was doubt, there was fear that he was going to lose and fail against the man that has beaten him time and time again in every important match. Not only that, but I think it's deeper than just losing his title reign. It's having his ego suffer from the source of all his trauma.
But I'll never forgive you for what you did to us. I hate you.
The Shield betrayal. the heist at WrestleMania 31, the pedigree at Extreme Rules in 2016, the championship loss at Money in the Bank, stealing the fans away from Roman Reigns, the hate growing, Roman Reigns' career continuing to dwindle. All of that happened because of Seth Rollins, and I think it's very clear that Roman Reigns has a lot of trauma because of it, and Seth Rollins is the Frankenstein of this monster that we see today. And Roman Reigns has not been able to let go of that trauma, and he's despised Seth Rollins for ruining his career.
He deserves this! He deserves this!
Roman Reigns believes that Seth Rollins deserves this pain because this is Roman Reigns unloading all of that pain from his trauma that occurred over the last 10 years onto Seth. This is emotional damage turning into a physical assault. If you've been wondering how long he's held onto that trauma, just take a look at that tight grip. The tightness applied shows just how hard it's been for him to let go of all these moments. So Roman Reigns believes this is what Seth Rollins deserves. The man is so broken that he admitted that Seth Rollins took a piece of him and he has not been the same since, which is why he turned into the man he is today. So you ask the question, who should dethrone Roman Reigns? But I think you should be asking the question, who can actually defeat him? And the answer to that is Seth freaking Rollins. There isn't anybody else that can take him down. He's the only person who can beat him because he's the one who created him. It is his duty, his responsibility to dethrone Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins has got to take a look in the mirror and take some accountability. His actions have consequences, and one of those consequences is ruining a man's life, unfortunately making him suffer to the point where he loses his mind. Seth Rollins needs to right this wrong. With the 10-year anniversary of the Shield coming up at Survivor Series, that would be the perfect moments for Rollins to dethrone him. As the match comes to a close, prior to hitting him with a final curb stomp, Seth Rollins should shed a tear and apologize for everything that he's done before the 1, 2, 3. And then hopefully Roman Reigns will be free of his demons. Seth Rollins did indeed destroy that monster by taking this chair shot at WrestleMania 40. Although he didn't win the belt, he did play a huge role in dethroning the Tribal Chief. Speaking of Roman and Seth, it looks like we're getting that dream match at Mania with CM Punk in the mix after the events that occurred at the Royal Rumble. I predicted the triple threat of Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk back in December of 2024. It looked like WrestleMania 41's main events were locked in, with Cody Rhodes defending his WWE Championship against The Rock. Then we're probably getting Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa to determine the real Tribal Chief. And then there's the postponed CM Punk and Seth Rollins match that was supposed to happen last year. That seemed to be the plan until this happened. CM Punk teaming up with Roman Reigns at War Games changed everything. It ruined all of the WWE's plans. They broke the WWE, and I think it's time to pivot. The WWE just found their next big-time rivalry that's gonna make them a lot of money. The clips of CM Punk and Roman Reigns from Survivor Series War Games generated a total of 207 million views on Instagram. This one video alone almost has 115 million views. It's very clear that this is what the WWE fans want to see. There's a few reasons why the storyline between these two produced so much interest. First things first, they are the two biggest stars in the business. Roman Reigns is responsible for the renaissance with the WWE. Without the Tribal Chief, I don't think the company lands those billion-dollar TV deals. On the other hand, we have the second biggest star in the world, CM Punk. His star power is so strong that he legitimately brought back millions of wrestling fans to the WWE after his famous pipe bomb in 2011. He also carried AEW on his back before shocking the world one more time and returning to WWE. When two of the world's biggest names clash, it's bound to draw viewers. Another reason why fans want to see this take place is because of their history together. CM Punk was feuding with Roman Reigns during his Shield days in 2013. Things got even more complicated because of their relationship with Paul Heyman. CM Punk was a Paul Heyman guy before the Wise Men joined forces with the head of the table. And then there's the elephant in the room. CM Punk and Roman Reigns don't like each other at all. There's real life hatred between these two, and it all started 10 years ago during a podcast.
It's me versus the Shield 3-on-1. This is the most pushed 3 guys since like Bobby Lashley. They've pushed and protected all 3 guys, and they're like, "You're going over," and I was like, "Okay, that's what you want." And then they stress, and they grab me and they stress, "But you got to make Roman look really, really strong." And I was like, "No, I was just gonna shit on him and beat him."
Yeah.
You know, I was just gonna tear through him and Superman the shit out of him and just GTS all 3 of them at the same time. You know, whatever. I was like, "Yeah, I get it. Okay." So while we're putting the match together, every 2 minutes somebody new is coming up to me. "Hey, you got to make him look really strong." So I got so sick of Michael Hayes and everybody else coming up to me, people who aren't even involved in the match. "Hey, you're making him look really strong, right?" And then finally I said, "You know what? You know what would make him look really strong? If they beat me. Because 3 guys can't beat 1 guy. That's f***ing dumb." "But no, but Vince wants you to go over." "Okay. But you gotta make him look..." God damn it! I f***ing get it. I know how to do the job. Shut the f*** up.
Those 80 seconds would have a major impact on Roman's WWE career. I don't think this was done to intentionally destroy Roman's career. It honestly sounds like Punk was just frustrated with WWE's illogical booking. He believed the best way to make the Shield look strong was to just book them to win. Then again, there could have been some jealousy in between the lines. Regardless, the fans would run with this perception, and for years they would criticize Roman and WWE's obsession with making him look strong. CM Punk essentially created the narrative that Vince McMahon and the Machine were shoving Reigns down our throats. Because of this, the big dog was a big failure who was getting booed every single week. And as for Roman, he would never forget about this incident.
You'll hear all kinds of stuff. CM Punk made the Shield. Yeah, okay. The only thing he made was that Pepsi tattoo on his shoulder.
The hate is much deeper than just poking fun at his Pepsi tattoo. Roman truly blames Punk for making his life difficult after the release of that podcast. This is what he said about him in a recent interview.
But all the way from someone like a CM Punk, for instance, you know what I mean? Like someone who really hits home with our home audience, our hardcore fans. Like someone, if you've watched wrestling for the past 10 to 15 years and you love it and it's like within your blood, then you probably have some kind of feelings about that guy. I know I do. You know, just by doing one of these things, he made my job a lot harder, 5-10 years ago. But if it's something that the fans can get behind and that it can really make them, sink their teeth into the product and really, dive into the creative with us, I'm willing to do it. I don't like the guy. I don't know many people that do, but I'm willing to put business first and make really good content if that's the case. But he probably had to be slapped around a few times in order to get his mind right. But if it's willing, if the fans and the audience is going to like it and be into it, then most likely I'm willing to do it.
As you can see, Roman Reigns does not like CM Punk, but that doesn't mean he won't work with him. You see, you can't be the leader of the Renaissance without understanding business and how to make the most money out of a program. The same goes with CM Punk. He might not like Roman, but he's gonna put his feelings aside in order to make money. Not only is it about their bank accounts, but they want to give the people what they want. They are aware that everyone wants to see the two square off in the middle of the ring. Reigns versus Punk is undoubtedly the money-making dream match that needs to headline WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. If WWE wants to make the biggest Mania of all time, they need to make this happen. However, we have one big problem.
And you're going to have to ask him, man. I'm the one wrestling every week. He's the one who needs to show up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. I call him a coward. I meant it. He sits behind his desk and he throws his little opinions out there. Back it up, dude. Come do something about it. You're not an elderly statesman. You're 40 years old. You can still fight. Come on, let's go.
While Roman Reigns is the bigger name, we can't overlook Seth freaking Rollins and the impact this pivot would have on him. For 5 years, Rollins has been vocal about his desire to face CM Punk. This isn't just another match for him, it's a personal dream he's been chasing. And it's not just for Rollins. Fans have been waiting just as long to see this dream match finally become a reality. We actually came close to it earlier this year. Rollins and Punk were set to collide at WrestleMania 40 before Punk's tricep injury at the Royal Rumble derailed those plans. Even after that setback, the WWE kept the match on their agenda, clearly banking on the Punk versus Rollins rivalry to be a main storyline in 2025. But now, with CM Punk and Roman Reigns drawing unprecedented attention, WWE's at a crossroads. From a business standpoint, it's hard to argue against Reigns versus Punk. It's a spectacle that promises record-breaking numbers and global buzz. But is it fair to snatch away Seth Rollins' dream match, a match that's been 5 years in the making? Taking all that away from him would feel like an unforgivable blow, not just to Rollins, but also the fans who've been eagerly waiting for that match. And that's where the dilemma lies. Do you chase the bigger financial payoff, or do you honor the story that's been building for years? It's a tough decision, and honestly, I'm still torn on which direction WWE should take. That was until it hit me. Seth Rollins isn't the problem. In fact, he might just be the key to CM Punk and Roman Reigns. He's the solution because he's the shield of the WWE, both literally and figuratively. Rollins has always prided himself on being the one to protect the company's future, and he proved it when he sacrificed himself at WrestleMania 40. Taking a chair shot to the back, he set his personal ambitions aside to try and save WWE from Roman's stranglehold on the championship and the Bloodline's dominance. Rollins might be the bridge that makes the historic feud between Punk and Reigns truly come to life. Picture this: Roman Reigns defeats Gunther to become the World Heavyweight Champion. Not long after, CM Punk calls Paul Heyman to cash in his favor, a WrestleMania main event match against the Tribal Chief for the title. This is where the WWE Shield will come into play. Seth Rollins is the only one who sees the bigger picture, and he doesn't like what he sees. He envisions a part-time champion who isn't fully invested in working or giving the fans what they truly deserve. On the other hand, he sees a cancer in the locker room, someone who's jumping the line without truly earning a title shot. So, Seth Rollins takes matters into his own hands. He's determined to win the Royal Rumble to ensure that the match at WrestleMania isn't just a one-on-one. He's going to make Roman Reigns versus CM Punk a triple threat match, and in doing so, he'll protect the WWE from both of these monsters. Rollins steps in as a defender, shielding the company from Roman's part-time reign and Punk's disruptive return. This sets the stage for a massive world title match with three of the biggest names in pro wrestling, all with their own intense personal stakes. And so the road to WrestleMania will have drama between CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Paul Heyman. Meanwhile, Seth Rollins has a personal vendetta. He wants revenge for the chair shot he took at WrestleMania while simultaneously destroying the monster he himself helped create. And in the process, he'll face the other monster that refuses to go away. It's a classic setup for a showdown where all three men genuinely hate each other. In the end, it would only be fitting for Seth Rollins to win the match, capping off his redemption story, and then a handshake from Roman Reigns, finally bringing closure to a 10-year-long saga. And then, before the show comes to an end, CM Punk blindsides him with a GTS showing his true living colors. Like I said, it looks like we're getting that triple threat match as long as CM Punk does not sell his soul to The Rock.
Okay, so I guess we're done with the Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and CM Punk situation. But the next one, they're going to talk about Liv and Rhea. I don't know what his prediction is, but it better be what we think it's going to be. But we'll figure it out from here. But he's gonna speak the truth about what's going on between Liv and Rhea. So let's see what he's gonna talk about.
Somebody who did sell his soul was Dominic Mysterio to Liv Morgan. I called this out on June 7th, 2024, 2 months before SummerSlam when it actually happened. The Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, and Dominic Mysterio love triangle is a lot more complicated than you would think. You see, Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley have a lot of history together, and their beef didn't just start a few months ago. And I'm also starting to think that Liv isn't the villain of this story. If you want to know how we ended up here, we need to take a step back into the year of 2022. In 2022, Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley were actually friends. The two ladies were a promising tag team with tons of chemistry. Everything was clicking until they kept losing matches, mainly because of Liv Morgan, and that was becoming a problem for Rhea Ripley. So she decided to betray her and fuck her up. She said she wanted to get rid of some dead weight, and that's how they went from friends to enemies in a matter of months, and things were never the same since then. Rhea Ripley then found a new group and kept beating Liv Morgan, and eventually defeating her was getting boring, so the two stayed away from each other. It wasn't until Royal Rumble in 2023 when the two would meet again. Liv and Rhea were the final two in the Rumble match, and that's when Ripley eliminated Morgan, winning the match, and that wasn't the only thing she won. She also captured the world title after this win. Rhea Ripley was living Liv's dream. Months later, they crossed paths again, and Rhea took out Liv's partner Raquel Rodriguez. Because of this, Morgan lost the women tag belts, and so the two hated each other again. Rhea Ripley then beat the shit out of Liv Morgan again, actually injuring her and putting her on the shelf for 7 months. That was the last time they would see each other in the year of 2023, and it's now 2024, and Liv Morgan wanted some revenge, and so she kickstarted her revenge tour and said this to Rhea Ripley.
Everything you love will be lost.
Liv Morgan kept her promise. After WrestleMania 40, she attacked Rhea Ripley, threw a chair at her face, and injured her shoulder. This led to Mommy relinquishing her belt on the next week on Raw, while Liv Morgan had this to say on the same night.
This isn't the end of the Liv Morgan revenge tour. No, this is just the beginning.
And that is the full history between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. As you can see, there's a lot of betrayal, a lot of hatred, and just animosity between these two ladies. However, things would get even messier now that Mommy's boy toy has been thrown into the mix, and honestly, Dominic Mysterio is the most important piece of this story. And Liv quickly realized this in her first interaction with Dominic Mysterio on April 22nd. This is the face of someone who just discovered the answer they've been looking for years. On April 29th, we then saw both of them come out of the same room, and we aren't exactly sure what happened behind those closed doors. In the next week, on May 6th, Liv Morgan posted a photo on the internet with Dom's purple bandana in her pocket that went missing on that episode of Raw. Things got a little strange on May 20th when we saw Finn Balor and Liv Morgan both get out of the same car. We still don't know where that's going to lead to, but anyways, let's get back to Dom. He even flew thousands of miles to Saudi Arabia to ensure that Liv Morgan wouldn't win Mommy's title, but he failed and actually ended up helping her win the championship and defeat Becky Lynch. I'm still on the fence about this being an accident or not, because he accidentally helped her retain the title a couple nights later in her steel cage match on Raw. Liv Morgan was so happy about this that she actually did this to Dominic Mysterio, shocking the entire world. And since then, Liv Morgan has been showing nothing but love to her new crush. This includes helping him avoid beatings, getting freaky on Raw, and obsessively stalking him on social media for hours. And while this may have started out as an elaborate plan to psychologically torture Rhea Ripley, I think that real love has developed, and I'm starting to believe Liv Morgan when she says this.
I'm not the bad guy here.
You see, she's actually now trying to save Dom from the true villain of this story, aka Rhea Ripley.
The Judgment Day are taking defeat lying down. Oh my God, torturing Dominic in the corner. He's absolutely destroyed.
If you look back at the beginning of Mommy and Dom's relationship, you would see that this was the worst thing to happen to him. The woman was literally physically abusing him until he developed Stockholm Syndrome and got stuck in this trauma bond. Not only that, but she also manipulated him into hating his father. Rhea Ripley is the one who destroyed this happy and healthy relationship. She's the reason why he betrayed his dad, and in the end, she was happy about all of this. In order to have Dom all to herself, she needed to create the division between those two people. This is exactly what she wanted, and it worked. Dominic Mysterio fell right into her trap. She was the puppet master. However, things began to change when Rhea Ripley got injured and had to go away. Everything was different from the moment when Liv laid her eyes on him. Liv Morgan never once used hate or abuse. She's been the...
No, I had to pause, man, because I had to push back on what bro was saying. Liv Morgan is no different than Rhea. It's just she had to use a different tactic, and that was to make it think that she likes Dom, but in reality of it is she's using Dom to help her win the title, you know? So when we go back to those times where she have won, it was because of Dom's help. Now, it made it look like Dom was, hold on. It did make it look like Dom was doing it accidentally, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't planned. I mean, they talked about it in the interview. So it was planned. It's just, the thing was, they had to make it look like it was accidental, but in reality of it is, they talked about it. It was planned. But to make it seem like that it was love and first sight, that's cap. It wasn't. It was just manipulation and being used. Like, basically, Liv Morgan was using Dom to get the title from Rhea. But because Rhea was injured, she took it from Becky. So it was never about love with them. It was mostly about it was just basically about manipulation. That's it. She was being manipulated, and that's the reason for all this. That's it. Nothing else.
Opposite, showing nothing but love to Dominic Mysterio. This includes making an effort to meet him backstage, protecting him from the danger, showing his bandana off to the world, and kissing him for everyone to see. It looks like she's healing him from this trauma bond with the power of love. She's breaking the spell that Rhea Ripley casted. So yeah, this seems like a love story with Liv Morgan being the hero that Dom needed. With all that being said, does Rhea Ripley deserve a second chance? I think that's a very difficult question to answer because in life, nobody, and I mean nobody, is perfect, and we all fuck up. Sometimes we actually hurt the people we love the most, but that's part of the human experience, and with that comes forgiveness. There's plenty of famous quotes about forgiveness, one of them being Mother Teresa, who said we can't truly love without learning how to forgive. You could also look into religion, fiction, or ask the next person you see. The list will go on, but the bottom line is that love is confusing. That actually might be an understatement. Let me say this instead. Love is the most complicated thing in the world that we haven't figured out yet. While Rhea Ripley made many mistakes in the beginning of this relationship, she was on the road to redemption, and it seems like she is a changed woman who truly loves Dominic Mysterio.
All right?
You got it, Mommy.
Look after this one. I love you, Mommy.
And it appears that the feeling is mutual after seeing Dom defend her in this interview.
Que está rica, o sea, que se ve bien.
¿Que está qué?
Que está rica, que se ve bien, o sea, con respeto, como se dice en Puerto Rico.
¿Con respeto?
¿Qué pasó?
De mi mami no se habla. Especialmente faltándole el respeto, diciéndole que está rica, que está buena esto y que el otro. Aquí ya terminamos.
And that is the complete story on the Liv, Dom, and Rhea love triangle so far. It's as messy and as complicated as you would have expected, and I don't know where it's going to lead to, but what I do know is that it's a tale full of lies, cheating, love, hate, betrayal, and heartbreak. And honestly, there are more questions than answers. Like, who is Dom going to choose? Is he going to forgive his mommy for everything that she's done in the past? Can we even trust Liv Morgan? What did she talk about with Finn Balor in the car? And are we going to get another ladder match with the custody of Dom on the...
Yeah, that's never going to happen because, Rhea moved on from Dom, and the only person that having is Liv Morgan. And the only way she'll move on is if she get a love struck with Finn Balor. So when those true colors show, pretty much Dom is going to be by himself, and just hope that, down the road, Rhea will forgive him, and, he will move past Liv Morgan. Because we all know Liv Morgan's only winning for a title, because you've already helped her enough. There's no more help after that. We don't really need to give him more help after that. I mean, you don't need that. We're good. Okay, Liv and Raquel are champions. You don't need to help them at all. So we need to leave that alone. But will it end after WrestleMania 41? I'm sure. But again, that doesn't mean that Finn and Liv Morgan train is going to end. It's just going to get started, because the people got to know the truth. And the truth is that Liv Morgan don't love Dom. She just using him just to keep a title. All right? She won something, and now the question is how she going to keep it. Is she going to keep it by keeping Dom around, or is she going to keep it organically with her and Raquel's help? Right? I mean, you both are champions. You're supposed to rely on each other, not rely on somebody else. So, again, it all depends on WrestleMania 41. But the main thing is that we want to see Finn and Dom at WrestleMania facing each other. Whatever the stipulation is, as long as we see a betrayal between Liv Morgan and all three, we'll see what happens. But, yeah, we'll see.
Line. I don't have the answers to these questions, but I believe we'll get them as the story continues to unfold. For now, I'm Team Liv, and I think Dom might be too.
All right. I had to stop there because the next one, they're just talking about The Rock and Cody, and we already know about that like 10 times already. So I just want to focus on this since I didn't know he was going to speak on it, but I'm going to go ahead and speak on it because this is the topic that got my channel started in the first place. So let's talk it out. So I'm glad that he brung up the friendship and the betrayal. I'm glad he brung that up. But him saying that he's Team Dom, Team Liv. Listen, nobody's Team Liv but Raquel. Okay, everybody is not Team Liv. Dom is only Team Liv for now because he has no choice at the matter, because he feels like he don't have the choice in the matter because he wants her to forgive him for after what happened with Rhea. But he already told Liv Morgan that it was a plan that they already came up. But he also told interviewers that it was already been set up. But I'm like, how do you knew you was going to lose that title? Are you exposing the script, Dom? So the fact that he said that he has a plan to take the title and her knowing about it, I was just like, so you guys knew that y'all were going to lose anyway. It was like, y'all knew y'all was going to lose. No wonder Liv Morgan wasn't so hurt after the fact, because she was kind of like, oh yeah, I lost my title, but I know I'm going to get it back. And I'm like, why are you going to get it back? And it's just like, well, I can get it back by, Dom going to make it up for me. And I'm like, well, he didn't do that now, did he? Okay? So it seemed to me like instead of, going after the women's championship, you decided to go after the tag team championships. So against Naomi and Bianca. So now that you won that, you feel like it's not incomplete. You feel like you need to win more. So now you're in the Elimination Chamber and you feel like you're going to win that title. No, you shouldn't win that title. And we're hoping that either Alexa Bliss or Bianca will win the title so they can, face Rhea for the title. But then again, because of the storyline with Io Sky and Rhea, there's a possibility, but we're hoping it's not. Now, everybody's saying that Alexa Bliss might win. But then the IWC says that Bianca going to win. And some critics say that Bayley's going to win. Some articles have said that either Bayley or Bianca's going to win. Which, again, if they win, congratulations. But we want Alexa Bliss to win. Okay? And only Liv Morgan fans want Liv Morgan to win. You get what I'm saying? We don't want Liv Morgan to win. Okay? Even C-Jack says they don't want. C-Jack pretty much says that he don't want Liv Morgan to win because it's dangerous. Black Couch Booking said up front that he don't want Liv Morgan to win. Even Pilla, the guy that just talked about the script and talked about Roman and Seth Rollins and CM Punk just now, he said he don't want Liv Morgan to win. So the guy that I just reacted to just now, he said up front that he don't want Liv Morgan to win. He don't want Liv Morgan to win. So again, he don't even want to see Liv and Rhea go back and forth with each other. He don't want to see it. He's just telling you his, what's going on with them. What's the history? So that's it. He don't even want her to win. So 3 people have said that they don't want Liv Morgan to win. 3 reactors I just reacted to, they don't want her to win. Okay? So we made it very clear that we don't want Liv Morgan to win because if she wins, it's going to cause an outrage. So, and CJ made it very clear on his channel, which I will react to this video, by the way, which I already did, but I'm going to do the full clip. But I'm just saying, nobody wants Liv Morgan to win. It's nothing against her. It's just the way she's been moving lately. We don't want her to win because I just feel like they haven't been doing a great job with the Liv and Rhea story. And unless they're going to put them in a Hell in a Cell match, we don't want to see these two at WrestleMania. Okay? It's just clear as day. Now, I did say that if she's going to be included, Alexa Bliss need to win Elimination Chamber so that way we can have a Fatal 4-Way. But if it's not going to be that, then keep it. Because we would rather see Rhea versus Bianca, Rhea versus Bayley, Rhea versus Alexa Bliss. But if Alexa Bliss is added, I would like for Liv Morgan and Io Sky to be added as well. If not, just you can do one-on-one, but just know that Alexa Bliss will expose Rhea for how she feel about Liv Morgan, which means that she'll probably get involved anyway, just because of the manipulation that Alexa Bliss, well, not a manipulation, but the diary of exposure that she has on Liv Morgan and Rhea. Now, what's she gonna do on Io Sky? Probably just expose Dakota's future with the damage control. That's it. But just be sure that that's what we want for WrestleMania, is that we want it to just be either a Fatal 4-Way match or a Triple Threat match or just a singles match. But if it's a singles match, it would either have to be Bianca or Naomi. And if it's a Triple Threat match, obviously it would either be Alexa Bliss, Io, and Rhea, or it will be Rhea, Alexa, Io, and Liv Morgan, right? So that's it. But in this story, I just want to remind you guys, this guy just literally just told you how this all got started. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad he brung up the losses, because that's the main reason why Rhea was mad, because she want to win. And I don't blame her. But then again, you can't blame it. Well, I guess you can blame her, but it's just like, again, some things are true, some things are not. Just because Liv Morgan has been losing doesn't mean you got to put your hands on her. Okay? When she injured her, I was very mad. I was very mad at Rhea for doing that, and I did not side with her at all when that happened. I didn't condone that one bit, and when Liv Morgan came back, I was happy for her, and I was glad she was going on her revenge tour. But the one thing I did not like was the fact that she kept Dom when she could have just left him alone after she won the title. But, again, that's the part that I didn't understand. And now we just don't want to deal with it no more. Okay, you got what you wanted, you got the gold, now let him go. You know what I'm saying? But because she's attached to him now, it's up to Finn Balor to see if she can, bring her back to what her original plan was. And that plan was to, focus on the gold, not focus on the guy. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, hopefully Finn and Liv will get their, we'll get together and say, hey, this is what it is and this is what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully Dom will move on, but I don't think he will, because he's going to want to know. He's going to want questions too, and he's going to want answers from Liv, because he's going to want to know, like, why did you, after everything I did for you, this is how you repay me? And it's just like, it's nothing personal, just business. You know what I'm saying? This whole thing with you, Dom, was just all business, okay? There was nothing personal that that Liv Morgan did with you, it was all business to keep a title, all right? It was all business. The only thing that was personal was to get back at Rhea. That's it. You had nothing to do with it. This was all because of Rhea and the title. So now that she got some gold on her, you can just shoot. You probably could just go back to her. You know what I'm saying? But why would you want to go back when you haven't even made peace? You know what I'm saying? You can't make peace with Rhea when you haven't made peace with Dame. You can't make peace with Dame if you haven't made peace with your father. Like, at the end of the day, you can make peace with those two all you want. But to have those two join with you to take down Finn and Liv and whoever that's with them, come on, man. You do better, okay? Nobody wants to see Rhea and Liv, against each other unless it's a Hell in a Cell match. Okay, cut it out. But then again, I don't see Dom moving on, but hopefully he can move on. Hopefully he will. But if he don't, look, it's all because, you broke his heart. Because he got you really thought he was just, he really thought that Shorty was ride or die until you realize that's not the case. So we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll happen at WrestleMania. Maybe the betrayal will happen at WrestleMania. But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how Dom is going to move on if Liv Morgan betrays him. I'm sorry to say it. But if he betrays her, he'll move on, but she won't. Because she's going to want to know, how is he going to leave me when I literally gave him fame and I gave him all the glory, honor, and praise. And it's just like, yeah, you did that, but you never did one thing, and that was to get him gold. So if you're not going to get him gold, then there ain't no point in you, doing this and doing that when all you did was just gave him fame and fortune. That's it. You didn't give him no gold. You didn't even give your own buddy Raquel gold. So it's just like, yeah, you won the tag team champions, but that's because of Dom. That's what I'm saying. So I think it will make sense if Dom betrays her, but if she do decide to betray him, hey, listen. I'll salute to Finn before I salute to Liv, because at least he got her to wake up and say, hey, I know you think you like Dom, but the reality of it is you're just using him. And when she realized that, she's going to realize that, damn, do I really like him, or I just forgot about what I was doing before? That's something she got to sit down and actually think. Like, do I like Dom or do I not? Am I using her or am I not? Like I said, it's something to think about. Because if she say that I like him but I don't like him, then it's a choice she has to sit down and think about. Is it, okay, should I help him or should I not? Well, you can't say the word help if you haven't helped him when he's been helping you the whole time. So, Liv, are you really Dom's helper? Are you really in love with Dom? Are you really just using him just for love, or are you using him just for gold? Because to me, you're a gold digger. Because you don't give a damn about nothing but that title. Rather, it's the women's title or the women's tag team title. And even if you do betray Dom, how are you going to maintain the tag team titles now that Dom is not around? How are you going to continue to maintain? Can Rock? I ain't gonna lie. I just got done watching the first time y'all won the tag team titles against Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch, and you won by roll up. That's clean, but pinning an OG just to get some gold is cool and all, but it wasn't exciting. All right, people would rather be very happy if they see you win the women's title. The singles title. Like the second time then. But that didn't happen now, did it? So, again, if Liv Morgan betrays not Raquel. Not yet. But, because it might be Raquel betraying Liv Morgan. But however, if Liv Morgan betrays Dom, the fans, well, we won't question her because we understand, but her fans and the Liv and Dom fans gonna want to know why that you betray him for Finn Balor. We all been telling you why, because the original plan was to take everything from Rhea so that way she could become the golden star, and that's what happened, and that was the point of all this. It was to get back at Rhea for what she did to her back in either 2023, 2023 or in the beginning of 2024. Like, she injured her, and that injury is the reason why that Liv Morgan is not able. What am I saying? Sorry, I was distracted. Like, what I'm trying to say is that the injury is the reason why she had to go on her revenge tour. Once that tour was finished, she didn't need to go on. She didn't really need to get revenge anymore. So you could have just cut Dom off at that point. But now we gotta wait till WrestleMania to figure it out. Listen, Finn and Dom are already letting y'all know they don't get along. It's all there. It all started once when it happened. It all started when Dom, what happened? Oh, I'm sorry. When Dom got an opportunity for the World Heavyweight Championship against Gunther, but then it got reversed because of the Fatal 4-Way match. Ever since that started, Finn Balor's been, jealous of Dom because of that. And because of that, see, this is the part I wish he would have explained. Like, the Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio beef, because we know that these two are going to go at it. But when it happens, whose side is Liv Morgan going to be on? Is she going to be on Dom's side or is she going to be on Finn's side? Because if she stick with Dom, because if she choose, here's the thing, if she choose Dom over Finn, right, then Finn is going to turn demon. And he's probably going to go after Dominic Mysterio. And at that point, there's a possibility that Dom is going to betray Liv Morgan. And if that happens, she ain't got nobody to blame but herself. Because the original plan, you should have just stuck with Finn and not stick with Dom, because your goal was to not stay with him. Your goal was to use him to help you win the gold. Now that you got it, you really don't need him no more. Unless you need him. But I don't think you need him. Because what's the point of having Raquel if you can't rely on her for help? You know what I'm saying? So, again, these are just things that Liv Morgan has to sit down and think about. Because, listen, we haven't seen any signs that Liv Morgan is going to ride with Finn. But we have seen some signs where basically she has to decide. It's either go back to the original plan with Finn Balor or, continue this Liv and Dom train. Did I say train? I mean trend. So, yeah, it's either you pick Finn Balor and go back to the original plan and tell everyone the truth, including the Liv and Dom fans. Tell them the truth that this is all business. And now that you won the gold, you want him to move on and have him go on to better things on his own. You know what I mean? Or you could just continue this Liv and Dom trend, and then, again, if Finn Balor come after you and him, you see why. Because you forgot about the original plan. Because now that you're attached to him, you forgot what your plan was from the beginning. So it's just something that Shawty has to think about. But other than that, man, in order for us to see Liv and Rhea face each other again, it would have to be a Hell in a Cell match or a Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania 41. But just because I'm letting you know right now, it wouldn't make sense for Liv Morgan to go after that title when she's already got a title. You get what I'm saying? You can't say she has listen, you can't have a tag team push and then focus on another title with it if Raquel can't go after another title as well. She's missing all her opportunities. So why can't y'all just focus on two titles instead of focusing on both? I'm sorry, just instead of focusing on one, and that's the women's title. So, again, these are things that Liv Morgan has to sit down and think about. Do you want to be women's champion again? Or do you want to be tag team champion? Because you can't be both if Raquel can't get both. So that's what I'm saying. So it's something she has to sit down and think about. So that's why I don't want her to win the Elimination Chamber. I want Alexa Bliss to win, or Bianca, or Bayley, because that's the people they suggested, or that they assume that's going to win. And like I said, get those three to win the match. We can make those the final three. Or it could just be, like I said, Alexa, Bianca, and Liv. And if those three if those three be the final three, we will hope that the person that gets eliminated will be a Liv Morgan. Because if Liv Morgan doesn't get eliminated before Bianca and Alexa, that's going to be a problem, because then that lets us know that it's either Liv Morgan or Bianca or Alexa or Liv Morgan. And if that and I'm telling you right now, if Liv Morgan wins, everybody, shoot. It's either two things that's going to happen. Araya is going to start, or either Araya is going to start, or Liv Morgan is going to be one of the most hated wrestlers. Well, either way, she's going to be the most hated wrestler in sports entertainment, because she wasn't supposed to win the Elimination Chamber, and already she won. Yeah, people are good. Listen, if she wins, everybody in the arena in Toronto is going to hate her. And worse, they're going to do more than just boo her. They're going to probably throw stuff at her. They're probably going to jump out of the crowd and fight her. And it's all because you won something that wasn't supposed to be your win. Okay? The bottom line is the opportunity of you facing Rhea for the title does not belong to you. It never have and never will. And the only way it will is if we have a fatal four-way match. But I don't think the crowd want to see Liv Morgan first versus Rhea Ripley, okay? They want Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, Bayley, Roxanne, and or Jade or Charlotte or anybody, you know what I'm saying? Anyone but you, okay? The fans might want you, but why would the fans want you to face Rhea again when you've already faced her already? And understand this. Rhea and Liv fans do not fuck with each other. So why would you want to get those two beefing? Imagine if Liv and Rhea fans start fighting and those two don't do nothing but just let it happen. I mean, come on, man. If somebody get killed, you're going to have to, what you going to say? Don't say nothing, because y'all the ones that started this. And of course you could say the writers, but the writers should have known better than to have Liv Morgan win. So, because nobody wants to see that, bro. Unless it's a fatal four-way match, you can't produce that match. Okay? You just can't. So the dice has to be rolled with Bianca, Bayley, and Alexa Bliss. If Liv Morgan wins, I'm telling you, I just did a poll and everybody's saying Alexa Bliss should win. So, again, it might be what the people say, but at the end of the day, Liv Morgan cannot win. It should have been it should have been Io Sky, but you chose Liv versus those two, when it should have been jobbers. It should have been Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler, and it should have been Io Sky versus Zoe Sparks. It should have been that, but you didn't do that. You could have done Liv Morgan versus Dakota. Oh, wait, she was injured. I forgot. It could have been Liv Morgan versus Maxine. It could have been, well, I still think Shania should be it, but I guess you don't want two heels to face each other. But I say fuck it. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got nothing to do. Make it happen. So what I'm saying is, for Liv's safety, she should not win that match. Okay, I know people in the comment section say, man, ain't nobody going to risk their lives to get at Liv Morgan. They're not going to do nothing. I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying she will definitely get backlash. Okay? Can you imagine her coming in the crowd and everybody booing the shit out of her like they do with Dom? You know what I'm saying? To the point where she can't talk. She better come back out like Jimmy Hart with that microphone or megaphone, whatever you call it. You get what I'm saying? But either way, man, you just don't want to put yourself out there like that. And even rather you like it or not, Liv Morgan is not going to be the winner of the Elimination Chamber. It's either three people I just mentioned. Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, or Bayley. Which one you picking? So, and as for the Liv and Rhea beef, end it in the Hell in a Cell match. That's my only suggestion. I do not want these two to be friends again until they get in that goddamn Hell in a Cell. I'm sorry to say it. So if Liv Morgan turned face, I'm not cheering for her. Not until we get some accountability. Not until we get a Hell in a Cell match between Rhea. Not until she stay away from Dominic Mysterio. Okay? I don't care what she do with Finn Balor. As long as she stay away from Dominic Mysterio and she get in that Hell in a Cell with Rhea, I don't want to see anything from Liv Morgan. I don't want to see her shaking hands with Rhea. I don't want to see her hugging Rhea. I don't want to see her kissing Rhea. Forget that. Get in that Hell in a Cell and beat the shit out of her. Beat the shit out of each other. Just like CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. You know what I'm saying? Let me see some blood. Let's go ECW. Let's go AEW in that motherfucking cell. Okay? So get on the comment box. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new. And I will drop the video with C-Jack when he gives his prediction about the Elimination Chamber. So feel free to check that out. I'll let you know when it's uploaded. All right? Get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. All right? I'm out.